In today's video, I'm sharing my new evening routine that helps me regulate my nervous system today on the Daily Connoisseur. Hello everyone, Jennifer here, and welcome back to the Daily Connoisseur. Okay, so I put out a video this past year where I shared that I am on a journey to regulate my nervous system. This is not so much a journey as an epic journey. It's like the Odyssey, okay, for me, because this journey just runs so deep. I am trying to deprogram myself from a lifetime of bad habits that make my nervous system go into overdrive. And you know what? A lot of you are on the same journey. So it's like we're all in Odysseus's boat. And today I'm going to talk about my nighttime routine because this is a huge part of nervous system regulation. So many of us have unhealthy habits at night. I mean, we all do it, right? Like if you're scrolling on your screens until midnight or just whatever we're doing, that's not good. So I'm going to share 6 ways that I have changed my evening routine to help me regulate my nervous system. The first thing that I have changed is that I have stopped trying to fit one more thing in. I was so guilty of this because, like most of you, I have a very long to-do list. It is so long, and usually the one more thing is just a little thing. So I think, oh, let me just get this done. Otherwise I might not remember tomorrow. Or I'm at my desk, so I might as well respond to this email. You know, that little creep of just one more thing. And then as soon as you know it, you are still at your desk. You are not winding down for the night. And you could just apply this to anything. It could apply to housework. It could apply to work. It could apply to scrolling on Instagram. Okay, just one more reel, just one more reel. That has to end. For a regulated nervous system, you have to schedule in your evenings with importance. And I learned this, you know, the hard way, because for me, I would work, just work. Yes, I would take a break, do things with the family, have dinner and all that, but then I'd go back to work, okay? And I did this for so long. I would work until 11 p.m., until midnight. It was crazy. So I realized that is such an unhealthy thing to do. So now I have really firm boundaries about when I stop work. And at that moment when I do, it's usually 4 p.m., 5 p.m. sometimes. But when I do, I get out my planner and all of the little things, the little just one more items, I will write those in my planner for the next day. No shame, and I close it. And that way I'm not worried about forgetting them, and I could just tackle it the next day. So you have to be very strict with yourself, especially if you are a workaholic or you just tend to be a perfectionist, you just want your house clean or whatever it is. Write down what you're going to do tomorrow and then end it. The second change that I made was that I replaced productivity with leisure. I am such a person that thrives off of productivity, and that's why I have a hard time resting. And if you watched my first nervous system regulation video, I talk about that like the whole time. I just have a problem with resting. A lot of women have this, especially mothers. There is always something for you to do. Your to-do list will never end. It will never end. It is ever going. There's always something more you could do, just like we talked about in the previous point. So I thrive off of productivity, and I used to think of leisure time as a waste of time because I wasn't being productive, but that is not true. My friend Dr. Chloe, who is the author of Nervous Energy, she says that rest is productive. So if that helps you to reframe it, then do it, because that's what I do. So I replaced productivity with high quality leisure. And for me, that means all of the high quality leisure pursuits that I love, like reading, puzzling, playing the piano, going on walks. There's other things, but those are the main ones that I like to do. These are not things that you do because you hope to accomplish something. You do these things because they nourish you. And that's what you need, is nourishment. You need that for your soul. You can't just be the Energizer bunny constantly working. You've got to fill your own cup. The third way I've changed my evenings is I establish a ritual of self-care. So I'm not rushing through getting ready for bed, because sometimes I would stay up so late watching YouTube or working, whatever it is, that I'm like, oh my gosh, now I got to get ready for bed, and I do everything really quickly. I try to really slow down during this moment. This is when I do whatever I need to do. And I usually have a hot bath in the evening. I'll talk about that more in a later point. But I also do skincare. That is a huge part of my evening. And I take time doing my skincare routine. I don't rush through it. I breathe deeply, and I make it a ritual that serves me. I'd like to take a minute to thank Blue Mean, who have kindly sponsored today's video, because their Face Pro 2.0 is a major part of my beauty routine. The Blue Mean Face Pro 2.0 is a device that naturally tightens and lifts your skin, and the last time I shared it, it sold out. As you age, jowls can form, the skin on the face can feel less tone, and so Blue Mean uses microcurrent to tone, tighten, decrease puffiness, and improved product penetration no matter what skincare you use. It tones the jawline, and it even reduces a double chin. This is more than just light therapy. You feel the vibration when you're using it. It's like supercharged gua sha for your face. I do notice tighter skin from just 3 minutes 3 times a week. I love this device, and I'm thrilled with the results. Right here, I'm doing only one side of my face, and you could see the side that I'm working on looks naturally lifted. Normally $300. With the link in the description box, it's $200 off, plus you'll get a bonus ebook on superfoods, recipes, and facial exercises you can do to naturally tighten the skin. This offer is for the first 100 people, and if you don't get results, you get a full refund. Okay, the fourth way that I have changed my evening routine is that I look forward to what I have to do. And much of this is mental, because a lot of us have been there where we think, oh my gosh, I cannot clean the kitchen right now, and I'm not saying that I don't think that, because I absolutely do many times a week. But what I try to do is make it as pleasurable as possible. If it is my job to reset the kitchen and get it ready for the next day, then I'm going to make it nice. I am going to light a candle. I'm going to listen to either beautiful music or an audiobook or a compelling podcast. I'm going to enjoy myself, okay? And that is the thing about romanticizing your life. You take these terribly mundane things that we have to do and you make them enjoyable. You might as well. If it is your job that night to do it, you might as well give it your all, right? A little caveat, if you are so exhausted you can't do the kitchen, leave it and go to bed. I have done that many times. And there's no shame in that either, but whatever you have to do with your evening routine, look forward to it. Make it as enjoyable as possible. And there are so many different ways you can do it. Only you know what that means for you. The fifth way that I changed my evening routine is that I have rediscovered the joy of walking. You all know that we have a new family member. His name is Watson, and he is the most charming and wonderful little puppy in the entire world. I absolutely love him. And of course he likes to go on walks. And it's so hot during the day here that I like to go on walks after the sun has set, when it's not too dark. So that's when I do it, and Watson expects it every night. So that helps me to get out, but I love walking after dinner. And there's a lot of research showing that that's really good for you too. It's great for your nervous system. It's great for digestion. I do intermittent fasting, and so I don't eat late at night. I stop, the kitchen is closed, usually after 5 p.m. And so having a walk later on makes me feel so good, because it's like I'm digesting, I'm getting outside in nature, and it's so beautiful at this time of night, especially where I am. It's just still kind of hot from the day, but it's not, the sun isn't burning down on you. And I see all kinds of wildlife, lots of bats flying around this time of year, and owls, I see birds, and it's just so peaceful. So rediscovering the love of walking is helping me regulate my nervous system. And the final way that I have changed my evening routine is I end my evenings very gently. I do this in a variety of ways. And by the way, all these tips are woven together if you haven't noticed. So there's a lot of crossover here. But I love slowing down. That is something that I physically have to do because I'm naturally someone who rushes and makes everything fast and tries to do as much as possible. So I purposely slow down. I love making herbal tea, especially from my garden. And there's a lot of choices, but my favorite right now is lemon verbena tea. Lemon verbena is my favorite herb, and it always grew in Cambria, where I spent my summers as a child. It's in Central California. And so when I found it here, I planted it in my garden, and it makes the most wonderful tea. If you can find a lemon verbena plant, I highly recommend it. I've got lots of mint because unfortunately I planted it in my garden years ago and it's taken over. Plant it in a pot if you've never done this before, because it'll just take over your garden. But I've got herbal tea for, decades now, so I don't have to worry about that. But I love making herbal tea. I love holding the cup. I love walking in the backyard with Watson at the end of the day, drinking my herbal tea. I love bringing the herbal tea up to the bath. I will run a hot bath. I will use oils and beautiful bath products, sip my herbal tea, and read my book in the bath. This is my favorite thing I do all evening. I absolutely love it. If you are a reader or if you want to read more, I really recommend this, because in the bath, no one's going to interrupt you and ask you to do anything for them. So you can take that time for yourself. And it's so healing to soak in the bath with beautiful oils. Just, I love it. Like, it's my favorite time of night. So I will do that. I love puzzling, as I mentioned before in a previous post, and I will listen to beautiful music. My favorite music to listen to while I'm puzzling is just, classical music. Any of the classics are wonderful. My friend Luke Faulkner has an amazing playlist. Just type Luke Faulkner playlist on YouTube and it'll come up, and he is so talented. His music is perfect to puzzle to. And then I love The Secret Garden, and I discovered this group when I was puzzling, and their albums are beautiful. I've been listening to that as well. As some old, I used to love the Windham Hill artists in the 90s, so I'll listen to that as well. But just beautiful music to puzzle to has been amazing. And by the way, my puzzle's going really well. This 1,000-piece puzzle, I thought it was going to be really hard. It's great, but I'm losing my point. Okay, I'm getting off track here. Let's go back to ending the day gently. So a few other things I will do is prepare for the next day by thinking about what I want to wear. And also, making sure the kitchen is clean. Those are parts of it. And then I try to get to bed at 10 o'clock. This summer, I've been getting to bed a little bit later because we're just having so much fun. But generally, I try to get to bed at 10 o'clock. And then the most important thing I want to talk about in this section is dream journaling. I've done a whole video on it. It deserves more whole videos on it, but I dream journal. And this helps me look forward to going to bed. I can't wait every night to go to bed. What's going to happen tonight in my dreams? I have these incredibly vivid dreams. I lucid dream. I don't know what's going on in my imagination, but it's very vivid. And so I keep a dream journal by my bed. And if something really strikes me as intriguing, I will jot down notes. In the middle of the night, I'll go back to sleep. And then I will wake up the next morning and look at it and think, oh yeah, I did have that dream. And suddenly it all comes back to you. It's a huge part of my resetting my nervous system. And there's so much more I could say on this subject. This is just really brushing broadly over everything. So if you love this topic and you want to hear more on it, please let me know. Give this video a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you're not already subscribed. And leave me a comment down below. I would love to know how you are regulating your nervous system in regards to your evening routine. Thank you so much to Blue Mean for sponsoring today's video. Normally $300. With the link in the description, the Face Pro 2.0 is $200 off. Plus you'll get a bonus ebook on superfoods, recipes, and facial exercises that you can do to naturally tighten the skin. This offer is for the first 100 people, and if you have no results, you get a full refund. Thank you so much for joining me here on The Daily Connoisseur. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Keep calm and remain classy, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.